All right, welcome to back to Let's Rock Reviews. We're uh we're here. We're here now. And let me tell you why, because back in October of 2023 there was an idea. There's an idea that two friends who have been friends since the beginning of high school uh would go and see a band that they have both loved for a very long time. And that was the Foo
Indeed.
Fighters.
Indeed.
Dramaticism aside, we went on August 9th to see the Foo Fighters at BMO Stadium. And Kurt, it was just as epic as I imagined it would be.
It was great. One, it's the Foo Fighters. Um, just the fact they've been around so long, they have so many good songs. But also, I feel like doing these podcasts, like really diving into the albums, just really made it that more special.
It really
Uh,
did because,
yeah.
we went 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago, right? We went and saw 311, another band that I have loved for a very long time, but I'm not familiar with a lot of their newer stuff. And so
Yeah.
half the concert, I was loving it. The other half, I was like, hey, this is cool, but I don't recognize this song. So
Indeed.
going through each album, each song in each album allowed us to, I think, appreciate it a lot more to make sure we knew, like, hey, where were they at in their career? Yeah, it's been 30 years, man. 30 years Foo Fighters have been a thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you get a lot of albums out of 30 years. So going through each and every single one, hopefully you've heard some of those. If you haven't, go back and listen. But the idea here today is to just give a review of the concert itself and kind of some of the highlights. We're not going to go through each song they played. Maybe we'll just tell you some of the songs, some of the set lists. However, we don't want to bore you with all the details, but we do want to give our highlights of one of the most epic shows I've ever seen. If nothing else, love him or hate him, Dave Grohl knows how to put on a show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and yeah, we don't want it to just be like a complete set list read off. We want to add our personal touch as well. Like hopefully, for whatever reason you have been listening to these podcasts, hopefully um, just us adding that, personal touch, personal opinion, we'll add that as well. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. And hopefully it makes you feel like you know what it feels like to be at a Foo Fighters concert now. Not just the songs, but like, what does it feel like to be there? So hope you enjoy this.
We're gonna go back and forth. Kurt, why don't you go first? Tell us your highlight. But before you do, I have to give a pre-highlight to the concert. This is like point 0.5 because the Hives opened up for the Foo Fighters. And I
Yes.
don't think I've ever met a dude on stage as hilarious as the lead singer of the Hives.
He was
That
funny.
guy, I was cracking up the whole time. He was like, "Oh, you came to see the Hives. You didn't know the Hives? Well, now you love the Hives."
Yes.
He was all
And
over the place. That dude is not a young dude. He was stage jumping and running around the crowd.
oh
And
yeah,
then
in the
he let
in
us
the
know how
crowd.
much we loved him.
Yes.
It was great. Anyway,
uh,
Kurt, give us your highlights. First highlight of the Foo Fighters concert.
oh, okay. Or did we want to go over the set list first before our own
Yeah, yeah.
highlights or
Let's go through the
okay.
set list, what they played.
Okay. First off, let's at least start by just talking about the opening song. Starting off, with a big one, All My Life. One of their big hits, one of the songs that pretty, you know,
It's on my Mount Rushmore
yeah.
of their songs.
But what a way to start a concert. Kyle, it's on your Mount Rushmore. What else do you want to add to that?
I got two Mount Rushmores and four songs. Like it was incredible.
Ooh.
This just my I haven't listened to a lot of their new stuff like over until we started doing this. And so to come out and hear All My Life in the beginning of the concert, I think it was awesome. Like I don't get me wrong, they played a lot of their new songs and they're great. I love them. I'm a huge fan. But man alive, it was kind of special for me to have All My Life as the first song for sure.
Yeah.
Because we've talked in the past about some of their songs that they bring out first, and All My Life is probably one of the best options they could add for an opening song in my book for me.
Nice. Yeah, then they continued on some of the newer ones, playing No Son of Mine, Rescued. I think one of those songs in between, like in the middle, they put in some Metallica
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they
Enter
were playing a lot of
Sandman.
stuff.
So it was fun how they just didn't, start to finish, here's the song. It's like, let's throw in a little twist here and there. So after some of those songs, we get into The Pretender. I think that's on both of our Mount Rushmores, I believe, but
Yeah.
classic song right there.
Oh yeah.
Then just some more classics like Walk, Times Like These, Generator. Um, I forgot where it was towards the beginning. Dave goes into the band intros, which I loved. Because it wasn't just like okay, on guitar, here's so and so, or here's Chris, here on bass is Nate. Everyone got to add a little something, and by adding a
And
little something,
they all played like a song or a song they liked to kind of introduce who they were and what they played. It was kind of neat.
we got to hear this is all during the band intros, Crazy Train. Let's see, there's Van Halen, there's Thunderstruck, um, Nate, when they introduced Nate, the bass player, played some Beastie Boys, Sabotage.
Yeah, I
So
was I was I was cracking up. I love that.
loved that. Yeah. Let's see. I think with Pat, they did the Ramones. Um, Josh Freese on drums. I'll get into Josh a little more, but he played a little bit with the band Devo before Foo Fighters, so they started playing Whip It. So that was pretty exciting to see. And then I don't know if it was for someone specifically, but then they just started playing some Nine Inch Nails, March of the Pigs. So it was fun just seeing them jam out to like all these other awesome songs.
Was that not for Rami that they did that?
I don't think it was. I
Oh,
think
okay, never
they
mind.
all just, or maybe it was. Who knows? Nevertheless, they started just playing all these songs, and that was fun to see. So
Yeah,
that was like kind of a brief, split into the set list. They started what else? A few of the newer ones, or at least on Concrete and Gold, La Di Da. I loved on Breakout before the start of it, he's like, we're going old school. I'm talking K Rock, and like being here in LA, everyone's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, which is also funny because I remember I think when we were reviewing, There's Nothing Left to Lose. Growing up, I mentioned how like on K Rock, I feel like they played the acoustic version of Everlong, and then like the second song I remember hearing most was Breakout. So the
Hmm.
fact that Dave mentioned Breakout and K Rock, I was like, what? Loved the connection there. So
I love they did give a shout out to K Rock. That made me very happy.
yeah. But yeah, then it goes into My Hero, which was interesting, the rendition they played, because it started off, very calm, not like the typical just, standard My Hero like you hear on the album. Calm. I think it was just Dave and Rami playing. Anyway, but yeah, it very much built up, and
No,
then like
it was Dave in the beginning. It was just Dave in the beginning, and then
just
it then
Dave.
then the whole band kicked in towards the end.
Yeah, but yeah, they played it well. You know, continuing on with some new ones like or newer. Sky is a Neighborhood. Going back to Learn to Fly. Um, then two in a row from Wasting Light. Arlandria and These Days. Um, After that, we hear Skin and Bones. This
Then
was
after
off
that, we
of,
heard Dave say, one of the things he loves about performing is that he gets to stand on a I forget what's that thing called. Anyway, the run from the stage. He gave
oh,
the
yeah,
official term, and he said, "I get to stand on this next to a grown man playing the accordion in a
yes.
filled soccer stadium." Oh, that
So
is
good.
perfect.
Yeah. So Dave, he's on his guitar, Rami's on the accordion. they're playing Skin and Bones, which is off their live album back in the early 2000s, and a song specifically for this album. But that was pretty fun to see. They were both getting into it.
Yeah.
Just good.
Robbie on the accordion is just, it's next level awesome.
Yeah. That'd be fun to learn to play the accordion. I probably wouldn't be good, but fun to try out. We go back to a newer song, Under You, off their latest album, but it was interesting because they played this acoustic. Um,
Dave said he
so
liked it better, playing it better that way too.
yeah,
And they were
both
still
renditions are
on the
good.
front stage on the accordion with that.
Hmm. Transition to Nothing at All, another song from the new album. Then we go way back. We're talking first song off the first album. This is a call.
Yeah.
So we're really, can't get much distance from new to old.
Right.
But
I love it. Nothing
yeah,
at all
fun
to
seeing
This Is
that.
a Call.
I love that they're still playing it, even though this was like Dave by himself playing the whole song, recording it for the demo tape back in the day.
Yeah.
Fun to see. Then transitioning to another hit, Monkey Wrench, classic. Then
I believe that's
uh,
on your Mount Rushmore, right?
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what started it all for me. I remember just seeing the music video for this and just like, who are these guys? Foo Fighters? I was like, all right,
Are
these
these
guys are
guys?
pretty cool. And yeah, after all these years later, still talking about them. And then we get into Aurora, and I love after all this time, they're still dedicating it to Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
This was Taylor's favorite song, so I love he's still part of the band.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
he's still in everyone's memory. So, and that's one of your faves.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song. That's a great song.
Yeah.
And then they left.
No, one last song.
No, two
Best
more
of You.
songs. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought you said Best of You. My bad.
Oh,
I
no, no, no.
was thinking, then they walked off. No, yeah, Best of You.
Best of You.
And man, it was the longest possible version of Best of You they could play.
A good song on
A
my
great
Mount
song.
Rushmore. So it, yeah, it was fantastic just being able to hear like all your Mount Rushmore songs. Um, for me, Monkey Wrench. Oh, sorry. We need to finish before I call out my Mount Rushmore. So yeah, as you mentioned, Kyle, then they left. And on comes the encore. Starting
Yes.
off, we hear The Teacher off of their new album, but here we are. A really great song. I think it's a good one to come out to. It was interesting because we were at night one of the LA show, and I looked into the second night, and they actually played The Teacher first song. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, and
I
then
actually like that song a lot.
it is
And
a
it's not
good
just because
song,
I'm a teacher.
right? That's a good one. And last but not least, we have Everlong.
Last and the opposite of least.
Oh yeah. Like this is the song they pretty much always play last.
Oh yeah.
It's like the song everyone loves and I mean,
It's the classic
great
for
song.
sure.
So, I mean, the fact that you get to go to a concert where it's like, yeah, they play you know, your Mount Rushmore songs. For me, Monkey Wrench, Everlong, uh, Best of You, and Pretender. It's like, hey, can't ask for much more.
It's
I
good,
mean,
man.
it's always hard to pick or to hear the exact songs you want to hear, but
I mean, yeah,
they
I'll admit, like, there's a couple songs that I was like, oh, it would have been so cool if they could play this. But like this whole set list, I was like, it was great. Like, you can't plan that stuff out, but man, alive, it was a good set list.
yeah, and that was it. I mean, that's what you would, and I mean the set lists they varied amongst the cities, but overall, they were like the main songs that they played. So, um, fantastic to hear. Hopefully, some of you that are listening, hopefully you were able to catch one of their shows. Um, but if not, I'm sure a lot of people are posting on YouTube, so feel free to catch some of those.
Oh yeah. It's special how he goes about that, but we'll get into that in a second.
Oh yeah. But
So
yeah, we wanted to at least show you guys, tell you guys the main things they played, and we each wanted to provide three highlights like that we got from the show. Hopefully it, helps you make it feel like you were there, part of the experience, or at least know what to expect if you go see the Foo Fighters. So yeah, we can alternate. Did you want me to go first, or did you want to
yeah,
go
go for it,
first?
man. What was highlight number
Okay.
one for you?
So, hmm, I think highlight number one for me, I'm gonna bring up Josh Freeze. I
Nice.
will say,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, the fact, well, first of all, you can't replace Taylor Hawkins. I mean,
No.
he was, the heart and soul of the Foo Fighters, right up there with Dave. And what happened was just absolutely tragic. And, initially I'm just like, what's going to happen with the band? It's like you can't just replace him. But if there was someone that you would want to bring in to help continue on the legacy, it's Josh Freese. For those of you not familiar with Josh Freese, he has played in so many bands. He like full time, but also like touring. I mean, some of the names that come to mind, he was in the band The Vandals. He played with Devo, A Perfect Circle, Nine Inch Nails. Um, Played with Guns N' Roses for a little bit, Sublime with Rome. I mean, the list goes on. So, and I did love seeing someone in the crowd had a giant flag and it said like thanks for saving, I forgot what it said, but like thanks for helping save the band. Like, I mean, everyone just like loves that he's there, and
Yeah.
I remember watching an interview, um Josh with someone else. I forgot who it was, but like, he wasn't trying to like lobby for it. I think someone even like was like nudging him, like, hey, Foo Fighters need a drummer. And he's just kind of like, no, like he didn't want to like, hey, guys, pick me. But
Pick me,
like,
I'm the one.
right. Eventually he did get that call. Like Josh, he just seems like a real humble guy and I mean, really good at drums. Like I remember first hearing him play some songs, and it's like, some certain drummers have like a little feel to them, and like you could tell there was like a difference between Taylor and Josh. But like seeing him over time, like I feel like he's caught his groove. And I love that in between songs, they started playing just like jamming, like Dave and him. And that's when you really got to see Josh really show off his talent. And I was like, man, he he is good. So
He's so
I'm
dynamic. I mean, you name the
oh yeah.
bands he's played with. I mean, just look at a Perfect Circle versus the Vandals.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you got this fun, plucky punk rock band, and then the calmer version of Tool.
Right. Yeah. So that would have been highlight one of my highlights from the concert. Love seeing. So what about
Yeah,
you?
I did enjoy it. And even Dave Grohl said the man who allowed us to continue doing this. That's what he said the about the drummer. Who's yeah, he's special. It was cool. He seems like a great guy, and the fact that he's there, and knows the that he can't fill those shoes, but he can rock out with these guys, which is nice.
Exactly. Definitely.
So, all right, highlight number one for me was just the I don't know how you put it in a single word because I don't want to use the word vibe, but the atmosphere. I'll say the atmosphere.
Okay.
It was so awesome. the just the feel of the concert. Dave,
Yeah.
honestly, and I truly believe this, honestly just wants to rock out with people. And
Yeah.
and I think you see that with, the Foo Fighter songs are not short. I mean, there's a lot of songs that are a lot longer, and he just makes these songs, these long songs, so much longer because he just wants to rock out with people. And he encourages people to sing along. He encourages, I know a lot of artists do that, but man, it's so wholesome how he just wants everyone to just enjoy a show and rock out together. Like
Yeah.
it's nice. And he was, you could tell he's like trying to connect different generations and stuff like that. He was talking about, so if you see a 55-year-old man wearing a Foo Fighter shirt, sing along with him, rock out with him, whatever.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that feeling there where it's just like, everything else aside, who cares about anything else? Let's just rock out for a night together and have some fun.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that was the atmosphere of the whole show was really cool. And Dave really tries to make it special. So
Yeah.
it's nice, man. And that was, yeah, that's definitely my first highlight.
Very cool. All right. Yeah, number 2 for me. I'm gonna go with the new album, just the songs they played. So their newest album, uh, But Here We Are, it is possibly at least, I haven't, this isn't scientific or anything, but right now, what I'm feeling, this is probably my favorite album since Wasting Light. So it's, I mean, it's up there in like towards the top half of albums I like. And so the fact that we got to hear 4 songs, was really exciting for me. The first song we hear was Rescued. That might be my favorite song on the album. Just first track, just right off the bat. Loved that. Let's see, what else did they play? Oh yeah, they played Under You. That's the song they played acoustic, and I like both. I can't The acoustic version they played live was good. I also really like the album version, just like more upbeat, maybe like more like a breakout song, off of There's Nothing Left to Lose. Same kind of category there.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
they played Nothing at All, track 6. Think that's a pretty good one. Starts off a little slow, but like really just ends up picking up speed, and it's just one you could really rock out to. And then The Teacher, the first song they played on the encore. Um, and, it's like I almost like you're listening to a Tool song, just how long it is.
Yeah.
It's like over 10 minutes. I love that he came out playing that on his double guitar. I feel like you don't really see those much anymore
Yeah, that
nowadays,
was
but
so cool when he came out with the double.
yeah, so that was exciting. And it's just a song that just rocks. And um, yeah, I love hearing all 4 of those songs. It's not too often I feel like I go to a concert and I'm like, "I really hope they play all the new stuff."
Yeah, yeah.
You do wanna go and hear, like, the classics, but I mean, a lot of the new songs were really up there for me. So, um, really great songs. Oh, what else was I gonna say? Gonna say something about The Teacher? Anyway, great album. Great addition to the concert, especially intermingled with all the other classic songs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, highlight number two for me. It's gonna seem like cheating, but because we kind of already talked about it, but
Uh-oh.
just like it was the set list for me. It was a
Nice.
set list. Like overall, the songs that they played there, and I kind of said this earlier, I know, but just the different compilation of song from the very first album to the last album, you get the feel that he was trying to hit every generation of the Foo Fighters. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and it's not necessarily just the set list because it's how he played the songs as well. I went to and I love Counting Crows, and I don't mean to say anything ill of the Counting Crows because I'm a big Counting Crows fan. But me and my wife went to see the Counting Crows, and Mr. Jones has been one of my favorite songs forever. And he
Mr.
played Mr.
Jones.
Jones, and it was, he said some stuff in the beginning of the show about how over time an artist kind of alters how they have perceive art and how they do stuff. And he sang it so different. And it was so sad
Oh,
because I just wanted my classic Mr. Jones song. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like it was a completely different song. And it
Oh
was
no.
he still puts on a good show. And again, I'm not trying to talk ill of the man because he's a great dude. He
No,
seems like a
just do
great
it.
man. But he kind of killed that song a little for me, man. Like
Oh
all
man.
the nostalgia of it, it's like this isn't even the song I know. Like I couldn't sing along with it. And that was one of the reasons we went to the Counting Crows concert was to hear that song.
Uh,
But to go back and I think the only one that I couldn't sing along with for a few seconds was My Hero because he started off really slow.
mm,
Every other song I could sing along with perfectly. It was the same song that it was written as. There were some alterations. There was some definitely some breakdowns added into these songs to make them a little bit longer and just rock a little more. But the fact that he kept the set list what it was, old and new, and then at the same time kept the songs what they were, and just kind of added to them a little bit and didn't take anything out of there.
yeah,
I appreciated that a lot. I really did.
nice.
So that was
Yeah,
my second highlight was just the overall songs and how they stayed true to the originals.
I like that. Yeah, I like it when I mean I love it when they add stuff in. Like, yeah, maybe like in between or at the end of the song, but I don't want like the main structure of the song to change too much. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
so
absolutely.
yeah.
I don't mind the extra breakdowns, dude. That just adds to it,
Oh yeah. No, I love that
But
part.
to change like how a song is sung or something when you've loved that song for 20 years, you know what I mean? 20,
Yeah.
25, 30 years.
Yeah.
All right, Kurt, highlight number three.
Ooh. All right. My third highlight that I was thinking, it kind of relates to your first one, just like the atmosphere and talking about Dave and interactions with the crowd. But I was thinking for my third, just Dave's humor. I loved like he wasn't just up there like, all right, here's our next song, but like, yeah, just the way he engaged with everyone. Like in between songs, like randomly he'd be like, "Smells like food." What was the first thing he said? Oh, he's like, "Smells like Korean barbecue."
That's
And
right.
then like later on in the concert, he's just like, "Now it smells like spaghetti." And like I'm talking like Chef Boyardee stuff, and I'm just like, "What?"
That
It's
was funny.
getting me kind of hungry, but I love how he's just being himself and not trying to like be all rigid or anything. And I love how he like would just like start running around on the stage, and as he's coming out, he's like strumming his guitar and starts like pointing at like people in the crowd, like talking to them.
Yeah, he definitely pointed
Um,
to us, by the way. Like there was at one point, he definitely pointed at us.
oh
He
yeah,
saw us. He saw us and he was like, those guys right there. He did
yeah,
point in our direction. Maybe not at us, but it was definitely in our direction.
no, 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 it was us. Not even our section, but like at us. It
Us
was
right
definitely
there.
us. Yeah.
It was two fingers. So he was like, you two. I see you guys.
Yes. Yeah. I think I even saw his mouth say Kurt and Kyle. Um, and then like another thing when he was like just how he was being so funny, it's like, all right, this is the part of the concert I like to, you know, I forgot exactly how he worded it, but just ask the audience, do you want to hear a love song or a rock song? I forgot his exact
A
wording,
loud,
but
obnoxious rock song or something like that.
yeah, yeah. So, love song, kind of like, oh,
Oh,
yay.
yay. Haha.
And then loud, obnoxious rock song, and everyone just erupts.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, just he's got a great sense of humor. He's awesome with people and just knows how to put on a good show. But yeah, loved his humor. That would be my final highlight of the
I gotta
night.
add something to that real quick. It always
Oh
cracked
yeah,
me up when he was like, "Put the lights on these guys. I gotta see them every once in a while."
yeah, yeah,
And he'd just have he'd have all the lights on. So he's like, "Hey, you guys look pretty good."
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not, all the things I've been saying. It's like it's not doing full justice of all the funny stuff he did
Yeah.
and things he said, but funny man. So
All right. The third highlight for or the third, yeah, the highlight for me was this is gonna sound weird, but it was actually the fans. It was the
nice.
people who attended. There was a dude sitting a couple seats down from us who sung a lot of the songs, and he actually sung pretty good. And I let him know, like, right between the when they left for Best of You and the encore, I leaned over to him and I was like, "Man, I just gotta tell you, you made this concert better for me." So it was really neat to have all those people there, and you saw people. I mean, there was people on their feet the entire time. There was
Oh yeah.
people going crazy the entire time. There was a guy who had the curliest fro, five, excuse me, 5, 6 rows in front of us, and had no beat or flow to save his life. I don't know what he was rocking out to, but man, he was rocking out. It
Love
was
it.
just so
Love it.
it was so fun. It adds so much to the feel of the concert when you're there surrounded by thousands of other people, hundreds of other people who are just there to have a good time. And so I know it's kind of
Yeah.
like my first one, the climate or the atmosphere, but it's not just the atmosphere that Dave creates, it's the atmosphere that the fans create as well. It makes it more special. Like there's one thing about
Yeah.
listening to the songs, seeing on the video on YouTube, but then being there like this is with any show, I think maybe, but you get
Yeah.
you get that group of loyal fans who just, you know, it doesn't. It's cool because this is gonna sound weird, but everything else going on in life, there's crazy stuff, crazy world, whatever it is. You go to the concert and you just like for a few hours, you could be sitting next to anybody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are, where they're from, what they do, what they think, ideologies, everything melts away and you just get to enjoy life and rock the freak out for 3 hours. It's like
Yeah.
we're just gonna rock for 3 hours. I got you guys for three contractually obligated. I think is that what he said? Contractually obligated, or in my contract, he
Probably.
said something about a contract where he had to rock us out for 3 hours. So that was my third highlight. Just having that awesome feel created by Dave, created by the fans, kept the songs original, and
Yeah.
it was man, I mean it's if not the best show I've ever been to, definitely top three best shows I've ever been to.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And I did love that. I mean, he may have exaggerated a few years, but he's talked about the past 30 years and he's talking about the future 30 years of
Oh
playing.
yeah,
So I was happy to hear that. So
yeah,
it
that
still
was another
sounds
thing
like
I appreciated as well. The fact that
yeah,
like he let us know he's not done.
yeah. So that was good to hear. So for those future shows,
Can you
hopefully
imagine
this
an 85-year-old Dave Grohl rocking out?
that would be funny. He definitely won't be able to sing some of his songs where he's yelling. He's gonna have to just kind of speak those songs, but
It reminds me, I went to Ozfest one year and I saw Ozzy Osbourne, and you know, choices that he has made have taken a toll on his physical health, and it's interesting to see him try to perform these. Well, this was a while ago, but interesting to
yeah,
see him try and perform, at that age and at that stage of health. But I'm
yeah,
sure Dave could do
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's got this.
And that's
But
it.
yeah,
A year of podcasts, a year of reviews, a year of waiting, and the show happened, and it exceeded my every expectation.
oh yeah. And the tour has officially ended, so we're revealing no spoilers for anyone. So
Yes.
for this tour. And we must add that we haven't finished the last three albums, but those will be coming soon.
You weren't
So
supposed to say that. No, I'm just kidding. We were totally gonna
Oh
slip
yeah.
them in, be like, "Oh, we totally meant to upload these before."
Oh yeah. Oh, did they not upload? My
I
bad.
think they'll realize that when they see the time between uploads and how long it's been.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
But thank you for those that have listened. Hopefully we'll pick up some new listeners randomly, over time. But hopefully this gave you, hopefully this was fun for you, listening to the album podcast and uh, this specific episode. Hopefully it helped you feel like you were there at the concert, or at least, just gave you an idea of what a Foo Fighters concert is like.
or inspires you to go to a future Foo Fighters concert.
Exactly.
Because if you haven't seen Dave Grohl live, you got to see Dave Grohl live. He puts on a great show.
He does. Hopefully the Hives are there again as well.
Because they will be your favorite band, or at least he'll tell you
Yeah.
that they're now your favorite band.
Yes.
Oh, that guy
Good
had me
times.
laughing so hard.
Indeed.
All right, well, we're not done yet, though. We got more stuff coming in the works. We're gonna do some more reviews, some more, Let's Rock reviews. This isn't called the Foo Fighter reviews. This is called Let's Rock reviews. So stay tuned for more stuff. We got some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. We're gonna try to make things interesting. Maybe get
Oh
a few
yeah.
guests on the podcast and talk through some different rock stuff and keep it fresh.
Indeed.
So
Thank you guys.
stay
We
tuned.
love you.
Indeed.
Bye.
Till next time.